You ever get that feeling that your body is trying to tell you something, but you just can't quite crack the code? Well, today we're going to put on our detective hats. We're going to decipher those secret signals your body sends when it's under pressure. So let's start investigating. Okay, let's start with a classic mystery. You've been dragging yourself through the day. I mean, you are completely exhausted. But then, the second your head hits that pillow, bam, your mind is racing a million miles an hour. You just can't shut it down. Sound familiar at all? Or how about this clue? Out of nowhere, you get this overwhelming craving for junk food. I mean, even if you're normally a super healthy eater, you find yourself desperately wanting those fries, that slice of pizza. It's so easy to just chalk that up to a lack of willpower, right? But it's actually a biological SOS signal. Or maybe you're misplacing your keys again, or you can't for the life of you remember what someone told you, like yesterday. Your brain just feels kind of foggy, and the simple stuff just seems to be slipping right through the cracks. And then there's this one. You wake up with a sore jaw or a really tense neck, maybe even some unexplained headaches. You might not even realize you're clenching your teeth all night long, but trust me, your body is keeping score. So, you see, these aren't just random, isolated incidents. They're a pattern. They're a whole set of warning signs your body's flashing. And if we follow this trail of clues, we'll find they all point to one single hidden culprit. And what's so fascinating is just how wide-ranging these signals are. They can be physical, like constantly catching colds or having all sorts of digestive issues. They can be emotional, like suddenly getting super irritable for no reason. Or they can even be behavioral, like finding yourself procrastinating on the absolute simplest tasks. On the surface, these seem totally unrelated, but they are all pieces of the exact same puzzle. All right, so what's the deal? What is the single thread that connects all of these weird clues? What's the one thing that's responsible for everything from being forgetful to craving junk food? The culprit, my friends, hiding in plain sight is chronic stress. Yeah. In our culture, being busy is like a status symbol, isn't it? We've normalized being stressed out to the point that we become dangerously numb to the absolute havoc it's wreaking on our bodies and our minds. But, and this is a really critical distinction, we tend to think of stress as being purely negative. The thing is, your body doesn't really see it that way. Getting a new job, planning a wedding, even going on a big vacation. These are all positive challenges, but they can trigger the exact same physical stress response as, say, losing your job. Your body just registers demand. It doesn't label it good or bad. Okay, so every good detective story has to uncover the motive, right? To really get why stress causes all these symptoms, we have to go undercover. We need to see what's actually happening inside the brain. Let's take a look at the biology of being under pressure. So, your nervous system basically has two main modes. The easiest way to think about it is like a car. You've got this sympathetic system. That's your gas pedal. It's your fight or flight response. It revs you up, pumps out adrenaline, and gets you ready for action. And then you have the parasympathetic system. That's the brake. That's your rest and digest mode. It's what calms everything back down. But here's the problem. Modern life, with its never-ending emails, its constant deadlines, all those notifications, it has our foot slammed on the gas pedal 24/7. Your body is constantly in fight or flight mode, just pumping out stress hormones like cortisol, getting you ready to fight off a saber-toothed tiger that never actually shows up. But like any good mystery, there's a plot twist. We've been painting stress as the villain of this story. But what if I told you that in the right dose, it's actually a superpower? Yeah, for real. Take this from neuroscientist Andrew Huberman. He explains that an acute, short-term stress response, that initial rush of adrenaline, actually puts your immune system on high alert. It makes it more effective at fighting off infections. And this explains a super common phenomenon. Have you ever worked like crazy through a stressful project, feeling totally fine the whole time, only to get sick the very first day of your vacation? Well, that's why. Your adrenaline response, which was basically supercharging your immune system, suddenly crashed, and that left you vulnerable. Okay, so we've identified the culprit, and we've uncovered its methods. Now for the most important part of this whole investigation. How do we fight back? It is time to open up the stress management toolkit. All right, your most powerful tool for immediate, in-the-moment stress relief is something your body already does automatically when it's trying to calm down. It's called the physiological sigh. And the cool part is, you can control it whenever you want. Here's how you do it. You take a deep inhale through your nose. And then, at the very top of that breath, without exhaling, you sneak in another little short inhale. Then, you let out a long, slow exhale through your mouth. That double inhale literally pops open the tiny little air sacs in your lungs, and that long exhale gets rid of a bunch of carbon dioxide, which sends a powerful calming signal straight to your brain. Just doing 1 to 3 of these can seriously reduce your stress level right then and there. It's amazing. Now, for a more medium-term strategy, we kind of have to shift our thinking. The goal isn't to get rid of stress. I mean, that's impossible. The real goal is to get better at it. And this means raising your stress threshold. Basically, your ability to keep your mind calm and focused, even when your body is screaming, panic. And you can actually practice this. You can deliberately put your body into a state of high alert. Think about a quick cold shower or a burst of high-intensity exercise. While your heart is pounding, your job is to consciously calm your mind. And here's a fantastic technique for that. Switch your vision. Go from that narrow, focused tunnel vision to a wide panoramic view. Literally try to see more of the room in your peripheral vision. It sounds weird, but this sends a direct signal to your brain to chill out. And finally, for building that long-term resilience, it's all about strengthening your foundations. These are the non-negotiables, the buffers that protect you from the constant wear and tear of stress. Meaningful social connection is a huge one. It directly impacts your brain's serotonin levels. And of course, the big pillars of health, getting quality sleep, good nutrition, and regular exercise. These are your absolute primary line of defense. So there you have it. The mystery is solved. We've found the clues your body is sending, we've unmasked the culprit, and we've laid out the tools you can use to manage it. The only question left is, now that you know the language your body is speaking, are you ready to start listening?